Definitely best to avoid that. Obviously, if you cause damage and not realise it, then you could also cause yourself an accident. I mean, it's got a danger sign on it. Before you do take off your rear disc, good morning, welcome to another episode of Monky London. As I did leave the workshop a little bit of a state yesterday, first off we're going to go in there, have a quick tidy up, and then we are going to be working on this lovely little beast over here. So the GT is in for new wheels, wheel spacers and extended wheel studs. Get all these lovely new wheels out, put them in the workshop, and then I'll bring her in. Okay, so there we have it. These are the wheels that are going to be going on. Japan Racing JR10, I believe. And we had some wheel spacers made up by Superformer. New spacers, extended wheel studs, actually been made to the specification of the car and the wheel. So it's not going to require any spigot rings. This is actually the same centre bore as the wheel. Back there is the same centre bore as the car. So literally it is a slip-on hub-centric spacer. This is the locking wheel nut for the Mishimoto wheel nuts already on there. See, but basically a 7-sided socket, unlike the usual 6. So one of these on here will be, there you go, 7-sided. It goes on there. The new ones we've got going on are going to be the internal drive wheel nuts, which are a lot slimmer profile, which I'm going to assume is going to be because these, yeah, be able to get into. So if you didn't have an internal drive wheel nut with that, you would not be able to get them on and off. So I'm going to start at the front. I've taken off all these brakes, calipers and discs to be able to get the hub off, and then I can remove all the original wheel studs and then yeah, fit these lovely new ones.
5 minutes later.
So there you have it, there's the wheel studs removed from the front. You can see there the difference in height, so that is literally the 15mm extra. There is the hub. Now I'm just going to unbolt that and I can press the new wheel studs back in. So once you've got the caliper up, it's quite a common thing I see people make a mistake with is hook it up onto the shock absorber and just put a cable tie around it and hold it. A lot of people just hang them down on the actual brake hose there, which can cause damage. Definitely best to avoid that. Obviously, if you cause damage and not realise it, then you could also cause yourself an accident. The next thing is to get the disc off. Now, these will be quite corroded on there, you know, they'll be pretty firm. But what actually Toyota and Subaru have done with this, little threaded holes in there, which you probably can't see properly. You can basically get a bolt in each side and thread them in, and it actually works the disc off for you, so making it nice and easy to remove. I've actually just given them a quick clean out the threads and put some WD-40 in there. All you need to do is literally just start winding them in a little bit, evenly do it. A lot easier if you don't have to have camera in one hand. And there you go. So you just push on here, and there, and it just literally just pushes the disc off evenly. Now should be able to just literally just hit these studs out. They don't actually take much to really get them, just like that. Okay, so I've just quickly gone over the hub just with a wire wheel on the drill, just to kind of give it a nice clean surface, get any kind of corrosion off. Just literally wire wheel on the drill like that. When the disc goes back on, it just prevents the disc from not sitting flat. Otherwise, you can get the sensation where you feel like your discs are warped, and actually what it is it's not mating on the surface here correctly. Just by giving them a quick clean up there. Obviously it's easy to do when the studs are out, so that's why I've done it now. Okay, so what we're doing just to pull the studs in here is basically just a bit of copper grease on the back of the stud here, and I've just got this spacer that slips over the top of the stud there, just in a washer. I'm just using an old wheel nut. I'm not using the wheel nuts that are on the vehicle currently, or the new set, just because there is a risk you could damage the threads in here. Basically what we're doing is using just a gun just to be able to tighten that down, and that will pull that thread through. I'm not going to be able to show you because I can't actually hold the gun and the camera at once. I can obviously, you can see where I've done that one there, where it's just pulled through, and then it just sits there nice and tight. So just a little bit of copper grease just on that centre bit there. I've actually cleaned up the face of the disc here again with the wire wheel, and the same again just with the back there, just to get off any corrosion yet again, just to prevent it from having that sensation of being warped. Okay, so there you go, there is the finished product. 15mm longer than standard. Something I did notice though, this track rod here is actually bent. I'll show you the other side. See, that one's dead straight. I don't know, maybe it's had a little bump in the road. This may have caused that, so that certainly needs attention because that's actually bent. We'll get that sorted out and replaced for him.
A few moments later.
Hi guys, so now I've had my morning coffee, feel a bit more awake and ready to go, so I'm going to just be getting on with the GT86. I only managed to get the front extended wheel studs done yesterday, as my man Joe next door, he came around and said, oh, you know, could you do a middle silencer delete for me? And who am I to deprive a man of a louder exhaust? So I ended up stopping doing the GT, doing the exhaust for him. And now we're back on the GT, we can come and finish this off. Just got to get this lovely Impreza P1 out first. That time there means it's ready for breakfast time.
5 minutes later.
Very nice. Right, that's the front one's done. Now we're going to move on to the backs. Caliper, carrier, disc and everything off. With these though, we will be taking the back plates off and all the shoes, just because you won't be able to get the studs in there, but I will show you that once we get it all off. So that can just be placed up in there, and then we can take this little grommet out right here, gear inside here, adjust it in, and then that pulls the shoes in, which allows the disc to come off. If you just try and wrench the disc off, you could end up damaging the shoes and fitting kit, so strongly advise against that. That's that done. Now the same with the front, you've got these little threaded sections here, you have to drill the bolts into those, and that'll pull the disc off for us. Just use a pick just to clear out some of the crap that's in there. I'm just going to use just a tap here just to clean the threads out a little just before I wind the bolts in, just to ensure that I am going to get a good nice thread on it to be able to physically pull it out. Spray a bit of WD-40 in there. Another thing worth mentioning is before you do take off your rear disc, it's important to make sure you don't have your handbrake on, because if you do, then these shoes are going to be popped out and it's literally going to be holding the disc on and you're not going to be able to get it off. So it's one of those things, it's a mistake, sometimes you make it. So there's your disc off. This is the adjuster we're talking about that you have to turn. So basically as it's turned, that will expand out, and that's what pushes your shoes out further. So obviously if that's pushed out, you're not going to get your disc off properly. So the next thing is, the actual bearing itself is actually held in by 4 bolts which are underneath here. Just see there, they need to be removed. Hopefully that will release this actual hub here. If it doesn't, then it's going to be a case of we're going to have to take the shoes off, take the whole back plate off, take it over to the bench and separate them over there. Just all depends on how corroded and seized it is really, so we'll give it a shot. Lunchtime, the George Foreman is coming out. Fucking dirty bastards. Ta-da! After that rather disappointing find, definitely blaming Lewis. Bring the Pain hot sauce, bacon, plastic cheese, salad, it's my healthy section, and cherry yoghurt.
5 minutes later.
There you have it. One tidy little bit of lunch. I've got a little bit of hot sauce on there. I mean, it is called Bring the Pain, so I mean, it's got a danger sign on it, so I don't want to go too mad with it. I still want to be able to taste my burger. Buon appetito! There's all the hub and back plate, all the shoes off and everything. As you see all the corrosion around there. So basically I'm just going to try and get that off now, just so then I can get the wheel studs out and get them all replaced. There you go, now it's all separated. Had the original bolts in the back there, that just gave it some support, something to stand on. Just something to basically push up against this. So now I can work out getting the studs in there. So yeah, you can really see all the corrosion on there. It's pretty heavy, so it's going to get a knotted wire wheel. Just put it on the grinder and just give that a good clean off. A lot nice and cleaner, so hopefully that won't stick. We can put it back on, put some copper grease on there. Stop that from sticking, it'll be all lovely. Right, so just a little tip here. There's a bit of a gap right here. It's not quite sat away home, and this vise is up pretty much as tight as I can go. So what a little tip here to do is, or a little trick, is to basically you shock it. So basically if you hit the vise with a hammer, it will, the vibrations will actually shock that, and it should actually help it seat in there correctly for that last little bit, and then you can just carry on with the vise, tightening up that last little bit just to make sure it gets right home. But I'll give it a quick try now just to show you. And there you go. There's shoes all reinstalled back on, drive shafts all greased up. I've cleaned up all inside here as well. Corrosion, cleaned up this surface here, make sure that's a nice flat surface. The bearing sits correctly on there. Back plates all cleaned up, front and back. Yeah, so the next thing I'll do is just get some emery paper and just give a quick clean up to these shoes. Not that there's anything wrong with them, it's just nice. I just like to be able to give them a quick clean up. Just in case there is any kind of contaminants on there. And then we will be putting the hub back on with all the extended wheel studs, and then we're pretty much there. The brakes back reassembled. So there you go, hub's all back on. I've cleaned up all the corrosion off here, added some grease to the centre there. Yeah, shoes, as I said, all cleaned up. Just giving them a quick key up with a bit of emery paper. Same with the other discs, just cleaned it up, all the corrosion inside and out. Just giving a little key up inside there as well. It's a case of the disc will go back on, caliper, everything back on, and we're all done. Once the disc's all back on, just remember to do up the handbrake adjuster there, just to push the shoes out to where they need to be sitting, just so that's all working correctly. Another thing I would recommend, not essential, but it's not worth not doing, once you've put the wheels all back on, take them a test drive, come back and just check the torque of the wheels. Just because if one of these studs hasn't really seated correctly, whatever reason, and then whilst you're on the road, the bump is just kind of like, just lodged it into place correctly and seated it down, then obviously that wheel nut's going to be loose. So it's one of those things it's not worth not doing. Just quickly go around, check the torque again, just to make sure they are all good. Just a bit of peace of mind, really. Right guys, that wraps us up for another episode. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. If you did, please, give it a like and a share, and leave us any comments in the comments section. Thank you to Adam, whose GT86 we've been working on today, for letting us use it and film it. I've put his Instagram tag on it as well. If you could give him a little cheeky like and a follow, that'd be great. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.